answering your questions about retirement. It's Money Talk with Michael Eastham.
My mom lives with my wife and me, and we're taking care of her. She requires a visiting nurse a few times a week, which gets very expensive. We have to cover the cost of her care, since she only has Social Security. I don't want this to happen to me and my wife. How can we protect ourselves from being a burden on our kids?
Well, one of the best ways to be prepared for this type of an event is to plan for it. And the best way to plan for it is to take a look at your assets, take a look at the options that are available for you for long-term care. And there are several different ways that you can consider it. One is if your assets are very low, then the government does have a program called Medicaid. And Medicaid can provide for you in a long-term care situation. But in most cases, I find that's a suboptimal solution. A better way would be to either plan or look into various types of long-term care coverage that could be true insurance, like a traditional long-term care policy, or a hybrid type of long-term care coverage where you take your assets and invest in a tool such as an annuity or a life insurance policy that gives you access to the benefits while you're still alive, but in the event that you need it for long-term care. You see, none of us really knows whether it's going to be necessary, but typically we don't see long-term care issues until you're early to mid-80s. So if you retire at age 65, then that could be 20 years down the road. And the cost of coverage at that time, or the cost of long-term care at that time, could be 2, 3, 4 times as much as it is when you're retired at age 60 or 65. So you've got to think ahead. You got to look at the tools that are available. And then the last step, or the last potential option, would be to self-cover, meaning you self-insure. In other words, setting aside some of your assets specifically to pay for long-term care out of pocket. And if you do that, it needs to be money that's over and above the assets that you need to generate income to support the income you always dreamed of in retirement. Thanks so much for that question, and make sure that you like this video and subscribe to our channel to get all the latest updates as you go out through the month.